It has so far reached its current state by raw force, simply flinging enormous quantities of electricity and computation at it. Therefore, it won't end up here. Generally speaking, you strive to make any given technology operate first, and then you make it efficient. As a result, I believe that these models will eventually discover that the excitement of the stock market is in the air, and that this news discovery is a complete game changer. We will solve the puzzles around this shocking news in this video, examining the spike in demand for Tesla shares at a pivotal moment that could determine the company's future. However, that is only the beginning. We'll explore the realm of indicators in great detail, deciphering the RSI, dancing on the MACD, and discovering mysteries that might propel Tesla to extraordinary heights. Hold on to your breath, because next week is going to be a huge one, with massive earnings releases and jaw-dropping data. But before we delve further into the world of Tesla, remember to hit the like button and subscribe to Tesla Stock News to add a little magic to our day. So let's get started on this thrilling journey together without further ado. Today, there was a major development that changed the game for Tesla shares. In answer to a reporter's question, it was formally verified that the full self-driving beta deployment preparations are already under progress. Although Tesla has not yet provided a precise schedule, it is reasonable to assume that this development will coincide with V12's readiness, possibly making its debut as we move into the final days of December or possibly the first few days of January 2024. The suspense surrounding this potentially game-changing occurrence is growing, and the expectation is evident. As the stock market anxiously awaits what may be a genuinely revolutionary moment for Tesla and its investors, this confluence of events is anticipated to heighten enthusiasm and expectation. I must stress that Tesla's stock price has not yet taken this event into account. Given that even a 10% adoption rate of tsla in China and North America, which includes the United States and Canada, could greatly improve Tesla's financial performance and send the stock skyrocketing well into the 300s, the potential impact is enormous. As noted by Mo, the future appears bright. The United States and China together are responsible for around 36.2% of the world's paved roadways. Furthermore, Tesla has presented its clients with an alluring offer. Starting today, a generous 6 months of free supercharging will be given to everyone in the United States who orders and receives a Tesla Model 3 or Model Y by December 31. St. More buyers will undoubtedly be drawn in by this action. RK Invest analyst Tasha Keeney expressed worries about CRW, speculating that the business might have assumed greater risk than its competitors, such as WA. She brought up the fact that the national average for adjusted miles per crash is 0.19 million, whereas Cruise's adjusted miles per crash on surface streets is 0.04 million. For manually operated automobiles, DHL performs better, logging roughly 500,000 miles per collision, whereas Tesla, with FSD, boasts an astounding 3.2 million miles per collision. It is significant that Tesla and Cruise have such a large statistical disparity. Another change was the announcement on Wednesday that Cruise, GM's robotaxi division, would debut in just one location. Let's now pause to enjoy the sight of a Cybertruck delivering a passenger to the airport in Austin. The idea that this could happen on a regular basis is astounding. With a new charging website that highlights Go Anywhere, Charge Everywhere, Tesla is making charging easier than before. Additionally, following federal tax incentives, a new Model Y rear-wheel drive variant can now be purchased for as little as $33,900. This price may decrease even further based on state incentives. As evidence of Tesla's supremacy in the electric vehicle market, the company's improved Model 3 was declared the best automobile you can purchase in Norway. To further increase Tesla's presence in the energy industry, the biggest energy storage company in Alberta is set to turn on a brand new $50 million Tesla Megapack system close to Grande Prairie, Canada. With software release 2023-38.9, Tesla added the ease of single-tap autopilot activation. For Tesla owners, this streamlines the driving experience. Additionally, there are social media rumors that FSD beta may be released in China in January of next year or during the December holidays. Stay tuned for more information on this fascinating advancement. We now shift our focus to the full self-driving FSD beta of Tesla, which is preparing for a debut outside of North America and should not be taken lightly. It is possible that this discovery will act as a catalyst, driving Tesla's stock well into the 300s. Similar to Tesla's entry into India, this is another case where we are aware of the upcoming launch. But the markets don't seem ready for this big change in Tesla's FSD approach. Additionally, it will be a significant event for Tesla when it finally launches in China, potentially surprising the market. In other notable news, Hong Kong said that 715 Teslas were sold in October, with the Model Y accounting for an astonishing 99.5% of sales and the Model 3 for the remaining 0.5%. This represents 64% of the total sales from the previous year thus far. The spike in Model Y inventory is an intriguing discovery that could account for Tesla's recent stock discounts on performance and long-range Model S. The Model S and Model X inventories are around 2,000 units apiece. The Model 3 inventory is dropping to about 2,000 units, and there are now about 6,300 Model Ys in stock worldwide. It's pretty amazing how much more Model Y inventory there is. The Model 3 and Model Y Google Trends statistics show a marginally waning trend, but nothing concerning. While Cybertruck interest is somewhat declining, but still at high levels relative to historical statistics, Model Y interest seems to be stabilizing. It's important to remember that the Cybertruck's popularity is predicted to soar as November 30 draws near, possibly producing a halo effect that draws attention to Tesla's whole product line. With roughly 3 separate advertisements airing globally, with a primary concentration on the United States, followed by Europe and Australia, Tesla is still very active in the advertising space. Technically speaking, there may be opportunity for an upward rise as the proportion of stocks above their 50-day moving average is at 62.6%, which is somewhat lower than the July highs of over 77%. According to the most recent AAI investor mood poll, the week ending November 22nd saw a bullish dominance in investor sentiment. 45% of investors are bullish, 31% are neutral, and 26% are neutral. Interestingly, pessimistic sentiment has significantly decreased, falling from 28.1% to 23.6%. There has been a 2% increase in bullish sentiment and a 3% increase in neutral sentiment, with a call side volume of 65% and a put side volume of 35%. Tesla's option activity has been mainly positive. This suggests that a broad range of investors, including hedge funds, institutions, and individual traders, have an optimistic perspective, as evidenced by the $11.63 billion in total option activity. Futures now indicate that equities are expected to open higher as we look ahead to the market's direction. Furthermore, 10-year Treasury yields seem to be trending lower. The Dow, S&P, and Nasdaq are all displaying slight increases of roughly 0.1%, suggesting that tomorrow could be a good trading day. It's important to note that traditionally Black Friday has witnessed strong stock performance during the previous 30 to 40 years. It is possible that tomorrow will be another day of green markets. As the market develops, check back for further updates. Let's examine the major events and market outlook for the upcoming days. We can't completely rule out a surprise, but it's important to remember that history frequently repeats itself. The market has historically performed well on Black Friday. Although there is always a chance that this trend may not hold true, a solid weekend close is expected. Because of the special conditions, the following trading day is very interesting. It is anticipated that bond futures will be open until approximately noon, offering valuable information on changes in the bond market. In contrast, stocks will continue to trade. This dynamic makes the trading day more interesting and difficult because of how sensitive the market is to bond yields. The inflation rate in Japan is a major trigger to be aware of. This rate has the potential to affect market sentiment both annually and monthly. The bond market may benefit if Japan's inflation rate goes below forecasts, as this could indicate a hesitancy to boost rates. Since a sizable amount of U.S. Treasuries are held by Japan, There are worries that if Japan were to hike interest rates sharply, investors may switch from US to Japanese treasuries. This scenario is still hypothetical, though, as a considerable rate increase by Japan would be required for such a change to take place. Moving on to Tesla, the prognosis is still favorable, even though the stock price fell 3.1% yesterday, closing at $233.75 per share. Positively, Tesla has been forming higher lows on a regular basis. It is anticipated that,